It's time for the Blunt Ratings. If this is your first time tuning in, this is how the Blunt Ratings work. We take each show and break them down into 5 categories: matches, promos and backstage segments, storytelling, commentary, and the crowd. For each category, each show can get up to 5 blunts. The average score of those 5 categories stands as the official Blunt Rating. Those are the rules. Now let's get right into tonight's edition of the Blunt Ratings.
We want the smoke.
Talk to him.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke.
Come on, Charlie. What's going on, you guys? Oh, wrong scene. There we go. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy, Mr. HD, back in the building. The Wild Nation is definitely in the building. You already know what's cracking, what's going on, Gruss, what's going on, KGM. We gonna get through the review of the show. We gonna talk about everything that happened, and we gonna get through. I'll announce the Blunt Ratings at the end of the show. So yeah, man, the show was a really good show. I enjoyed it thoroughly. You know what I mean? I thought that it wasn't as good as it could have been, but it gave me a lot of hope for the future. It was such a consistent show. I was so excited throughout the whole night, like the first hour of the show. Once again, just like SummerSlam was just crazy, but the show was consistent. It had a consistent theme throughout the night. You could tell somebody different was in charge of the night, and I think, I'm not the first to say that it feels like a new day in WWE, and I think this is that's why I'm back doing the Blunt Ratings. It's like, oh man, Raw's good again. I'm excited to talk about the show again. We are officially back with the Blunt Ratings. We're going to be doing the Blunt Ratings for Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. And when I hire somebody else when somebody on the team could do the Blunt Ratings for NXT and Rampage, we'll bring those back as well. But without further ado, let's talk about this show, man, because it started off hot. We had the opening promo by the man, you know what I mean? Becky came out and she cut a super dope babyface promo, just talking about, I had a good match at the, Bianca was the one who tested me the most, and, I got to give her props. I'm more ashamed about or more upset about the fact that I really haven't been in touch with reality or whatever for however long. I kind of turned my back on the fans. It ain't about the fancy clothes and all that shit. It's about the fact that, I'm Becky Lynch and I work harder than everybody and I feel like I'm the best and all that good stuff, something to that effect. So it was an awesome promo by Becky Lynch, by the man, one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. So I'm super excited, about her future, maybe not her immediate future, because she was also speaking about how she did separate her shoulder. If you guys saw the pictures online, it looked disgusting. She's already slim, so her bones already. And then with the shoulder out, it was just like a knot, and you could just tell it didn't look good. So she separated her shoulder. That's an injury that I myself have suffered, and it's years later. My shoulder's pretty much back to normal now. You know what I mean? I'm good now, but it lingered for a long time to where my shoulder would just like pop and it would just hurt for a long time, and it's just like really uncomfortable. So that's not I didn't have surgery, and I think she may be having surgery. Sometimes depends on how bad the separation was. Hers looks worse than mine was, so we'll see. Hopefully she returns soon. But she called out, well, she didn't call her out. I guess she did kind of call her out, but she said, Bianca Belair, get your ass out here, in her most babyface way that she could do it. And she pulled Bianca in once again and shook her hand, and they embraced. It was a real dope moment to see those two standing next to each other. And then Becky walked off. She gave the ring to Bianca, like, all right, it's on you, sis. You know what I mean? You got it. So it was just a real dope interaction. Really dope way to open the show. But it didn't stop there because the segment just kept getting more fire. Bianca sounded like she wasn't as scripted because she didn't sound cheesy. Because Bianca comes out and sounds, I ain't gonna lie, she be sounding real Black Girl John Cena-ish. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when she's cutting her promo, and it'd be like, yes, girl, and then, and it'd be like, that's too much. Like, who's telling you to, like, just be normal? Like, just be normal. Just be normal, yo. So she just seemed like a lot more relaxed last night when she was cutting her promo. talking to, just saying, yeah, I know it was odd that I shook Becky's hand because she's snaked me every time I tried to do it, but after all we've been through, I gotta, she's taught me, to be, she's helped me get to the point that I am at this point, so I gotta show her some respect. But then at that point, it looked like maybe I figured that, Bianca was about to get interrupted. That's what you thinking. Like she's the one out there in the mic, Becky off. She probably about to be injured. We won't see her for a while, but no, we saw her again. Because they cut to the back immediately and you just saw Control beating the shit out of Becky Lynch in the backstage area. It was great, man. They were jacking Becky up. They had her arm in the chair when they cut to the scene, and I guess they didn't show them, like, I don't recall them showing them slamming her arm with the chair or anything, because I mean, if she's really injured, you don't really want to be doing that, unless she's gonna go out like Cody. But they attacked her, and Control being Bailey's new faction, Bailey Io Sky, not Shirai. And it's Io Sky, all capital letters. And Corey Graves slipped up a couple times, but I don't blame him because I still call her Io Shirai. But Io Sky and Dakota Kicks Kai. You know what I mean? That's what I call it. Dakota Kicks Kai. So yeah, they beat up Becky Lynch real good. Bianca ran back there to try to make the save, but they were already gone. So yeah, man, it's just setting up the future return for Becky Lynch. Who knows when she's gonna come back, or what her feud's gonna be when she comes back, but she's clearly back to being super babyface the man. Everybody loves Becky Lynch. Everybody wants to cheer her anyway, even when she was trying to be a heel, people still cheering her. Like, so it's like she get booed every now and then when she was in the ring with Bianca, but it was hard for Bianca to like really get over because people want to cheer Becky, and it's like, so Bianca's done an amazing job, nonetheless, even despite having to go up against a lot of people's, favorite female wrestler in WWE. So, first segment was awesome, but it was just the precursor to a match that I did not expect. A whole night that I didn't expect, because guess what last night's show was centered around, guys? Guess what? The entirety of the 3-hour Monday Night Raw was centered around one thing specifically, and it's something that didn't even matter last week. It's crazy. There's multiple things that didn't, but just one thing specifically: the United States Championship. It matters again, just like that. It's crazy, just like that. It matters again because Triple H was like, you know what? We about to have 2 triple threat matches, and then we about to have a singles match, and then we about to have a championship match. So what they did was they set up 2 triple threat matches at the beginning of Raw to start the show, and then the winner from those triple threat matches were going to face off later on in the night. Should have been the main event, but it wasn't. But they faced off later in the night, and they were facing off for a chance at the United States Championship against Bobby Lashley, which is happening next week. So first match. The first match was The Miz versus AJ Styles versus Mustafa Ali. All deserving competitors. The Miz coming off of his loss against Logan Paul, doing the Miz thing. The Miz is he's just the Miz, man. He's just like, what you're getting, and I don't know. I think yesterday I might have enjoyed the Miz more than I have in a long time, but we're going to talk about that too. AJ Styles, and, obviously AJ Styles, who should be fighting for Universal WWE Championships, but there's only so many belts, and Roman has them all. And Mustafa Ali, who should be in this mid-card championship feud, any type of feud that's going on around the mid-card titles anyway, especially since his return and, all that, social media complaints and all that. I figured they would do something with him when he came back, and they didn't. So hopefully under Triple H things are changing, and it looks like it might. But the match was crazy. Let's just, first of all, the match was wild. This was one of the best finishes to a WWE match. First of all, this is one of the best TV WWE matches that I've seen in I don't know how long. I was like, okay, they're wrestling like AEW wrestlers now. And that's messed up to say, but there is clearly a different way that Vince McMahon had them wrestling. They were doing everything, and it was fast paced, and it was just nonstop action. It was I was just like, this is fun. This match is fun. This feels like a AEW triple threat match, how triple threat matches should feel. So I was super excited. The Miz was playing up his, his heel role. Him and or AJ Styles and Mustafa Ali obviously were, trying to get him up out of there so they can go up against each other. But the finish, how did the finish go? Like the A-lister, he kind of he caught him with a Styles clash. But what happened before the Styles clash? Because damn, what did he do? I can't even describe how he did it. He just caught the Miz because Mustafa Ali did the 450, the 630, the 890, whatever it is. Right? He did his finisher, and then he kind of rolled up a little bit, and Styles just kind of caught him in the fucking Styles clash, and Styles clashed him on top of the Miz. I was like, yo, that was one of the smoothest. How did he even execute that? But Mustafa Ali, like, that move was all him. That move was all him because he executed his move, which is the hardest move of the two, perfectly, and then like just seamlessly kind of as you would bounce up, like kind of how Montez bounces up after a frog splash. Like he kind of seamlessly bounced up and kind of rolled over just enough so AJ could grab both of his legs and hook him up. And AJ did it all smooth. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. That was beautiful. Of course, he pinned Miz for the 3 because Miz took both moves. So it was a phenomenal match, man. That was a pay-per-view match. That shit could have happened at SummerSlam very easily, but it's looking like it's going to be like, I don't want to keep saying the other company while I'm talking about this company, but it is what it is. Like, it's going to feel like a AEW show. Like, WWE shows are going to start feeling more like AEW shows where you're getting fresh matches, longer matches. This match went 20 minutes plus. You know what I mean? The first match on the show. So it's just like, yo, this is crazy. It just felt so good with that opening segment. And the ladies, that got even better. So man, the show started off crazy. But yeah, that was the first match. And before that, I ain't even mentioned the fact that they ran a video package that JBL narrated about the United States Championship, talking about the history of it. Bret Hart and Booker T, who ended up on commentary at one point. It's like, oh my God, no. But I just can't stand Booker T, yo. But yeah, just talking about the lineage of the United States Championship and all that. And it just made it feel so important. It made the matches that they were having that night feel so important. So that was all fire. And then we got after that, we got Seth Rollins versus Montez Ford. This was interesting because before the match, Seth Rollins was in the ring talking shit about Riddle, and he's gone, blah blah blah. And he's injured like his buddy Randy. They both on the shelf, and then the Street Profits came out, both of them, and they start yammering back and forth. And then Dawkins was like, so why don't you face one of us tonight? And then so they did rock, paper, scissors. And it looked like they was gonna do rock, paper, scissors. Homie, let's do rock, paper, scissors for it. All right, bet. Let's do it. So as they did one, this nigga Montez grabbed the ref and just jetted towards the ring. I was like, what? I was like, what if Dawkins just chase you down there? Like, what is that? That's not like you. First of all, Seth sees you coming, and Dawkins could just follow you. I don't understand how that's the decision. You run into the ring, so that didn't make no damn sense. But obviously, they're trying to push Montez Ford, but to me, he turned heel right there. Like, that was Montez Ford's heel turn. I guess it's not going to be Dawkins after all. It's going to be Montez, because that was some heel shit. Oh, man. He was like, he'd be like, yo, let's go to the club, dog. We're going to split this table. You know what I mean? Then you get to the table with your boy, and he like, yo, man, nah, man, I changed. I ain't doing. Like, what? But the bill is here. Oh, man, that shit is crazy. So, Obviously, Montez Ford and Seth Rollins had a fire ass match. I don't think we need to. You know what I mean? Even they're pushing Montez for a reason. You know what I mean? He's a future world champion. He put on all that muscle. I'm sure that was one of the complaints from Vince. But it does look good on him. It makes him look like a serious threat. You know what I mean? Now that he packed on all those that extra muscle. So this match was fire. These dudes went at it for a long time. I really didn't know who was gonna win, but I did. I kind of did. Seth won clean. You know what I mean? He won with a stomp. He caught him with a stomp towards the end or at the end of the match. And yeah, I love this match. Like it was just another match that got 20 plus minutes, it felt like. And like, what can you do? One thing I didn't like is, like I said, Dawkins could have just followed him to the ring and he just disappeared. It was just like, oh, I guess he tricked me. And he just walked. It's like, what? So I don't know. Let's see. After that, we had oh yeah, that's when we had Alexa Bliss going up against Asuka. This was two baby faces going up against each other. They shook hands before the match on some ROH shit. And yeah, it was a good match between these two. They got a few minutes in before what really mattered came about, and that was control. I'm gonna do that every time. I'm sorry. It's just I'm gonna do it. So when they came out and just bum rushed the match and beat up both of them. You know what I mean? And obviously Bianca Belair, from what happened to Becky Lynch earlier, she wasn't having that, so she came out and chased everybody off and was like, "Yo, I'm fighting one of you bitches tonight. I'm taking off my earrings. Where's my Vaseline?" She's like, "I'm fighting one of you bitches tonight on God." So Io Shirai stepped up and was like, "I see you, me and you. I see you." So we got a match set up between Io Shirai and Bianca Belair. Crazy, I know. This is a match we was like saying could have. I'm almost 110%. I've said at some point during one of these shows on this channel, yo, wouldn't it be great if Io Shirai and Bianca Belair? I'm not the only one, I'm sure, but I mean, it's just all these matches we knew could happen if one person would let them happen, and he wouldn't. Now he's gone, so they can happen. It's a beautiful thing. So after that, Alexa Bliss got our old music back too. Thank goodness. That was another thing I noticed during that. But after that, we had the second of the triple threat matches for the United States Championship opportunity. Opportunity for the opportunity, I should say. We had Ciampa going up against Dolph Ziggler and Chad Gable. This match wasn't as good as the first triple threat, but it was still a great match. This match, I mean, obviously Dolph Ziggler and Chad Gable and Tommaso Ciampa are all phenomenal in-ring workers. The first match had a couple more of the kind of interactions where all three guys were kind of playing off of each other. They tried to do that a couple times. I think Ciampa hit Gable with something, and then Ziggler caught him with a zigzag like right after. They were trying to, make it look as smooth as the first one, and for the most part it was. You know what I mean? This was another really, really good match. This match could have been on a, pay-per-view fucking pre-show or something, and, everybody would have enjoyed it. So I thought that the right person won because it was funny. The Miz was out there, obviously Ciampa's boy. He was bigging up Ciampa the whole time. He cut a promo earlier. Just, this guy is the next guy. It kind of felt like he was going to turn on him, or he was about, it kind of felt, but, Ciampa kind of big Miz up, last week or a couple weeks, whenever it happened. So it's like they're boys, but at any moment, they both kind of heels. So it's like, and they're both really good heels. So either one of them could, we know what Ciampa's capable of when it comes to turning on somebody. He's despicable. So, I felt like something was about to happen there, but Miz was really helping Ciampa during the match. At one point, who the fuck was it? Gable. It was Gable or Ziggler. One of them was outside on the outside, and the Miz was holding his damn leg, and so he couldn't get back in the ring. And then we got back in the ring. Ciampa hit him with a knee, and then hit him with the fairy tale ending, and got the win. So Ciampa's gonna be going up against AJ Styles for a chance at the United States Championship against Bobby Lashley later on in the show. Again, should have been the main event. Like there was a couple things that weren't like actually right, but that was the only thing that threw me off. Like the entire night is centered around the U.S. title. Why don't you make that number one contender spot match the main event? The triple threats, and you give the guys more time, you know what I mean, to rest. It just seems like that would have made more sense outside of the main event that we did end up getting, which was also good, but we'll get to that in a second. What happened after that? Oh yeah, that's when we had Bianca cutting a promo saying, yeah, she's sick of these motherfuckers always being on that bullshit. Bailey ain't with the shits, and she want to smoke. And then they cut to Control, and then they cut another promo just saying, it's whatever, bitch. We with it too. We with the smoke too. You know what I mean? It's whatever. You know what I mean? So they went out there and they had a really good. Well, no, I'll talk about that afterwards because it was the segments were kind of mixed. But yeah, like it's a match that these two. I feel like they need to do this again because there was a couple times during the match where they both looked, and I don't want to be the nitpicky guy, and that's why I'm saying like the match was still good. It was really good, but it was like there was a couple times during the match where they looked like they were a little lost. Like I wish I had the footage to where I was watching. I was like, oh, they're like stuck. They're like, she's talking to her. She's like, and I remember like I think it was like right after Bianca got on the top rope and Io like went for the uppercut and she completely whiffed. And Corey Graves pointed it out. He was like, I don't think she got all of that or whatever. That was also right after he called her Io Shirai. But she like whiffed, and then Bianca, it felt like she didn't know what to do after that because it's like she clearly didn't hit you. So it's like, how are you so dazed? And that's what it was. She was on the top rope and they were setting up for that move. And it was just, Bianca was just like clearly like unfazed by anything and just sitting up there, setting herself up for a Hernia Karada. Like, all right, so you're good. Come on. All right, here you go. All right, now I'm going to flip over. I was just like, oh, man, come on. Hit her again or something. Like, get up on the top rope and, like, pound her, then do the move. Because she's literally sitting there staring at you while you, like, get in place for the move. She's, all right, bitch, you ready? Are we ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. So, that was the only thing that kind of took me out of it. It took me out of it a lot, actually. That kind of blew me. I ain't gonna lie. That shit kind of fucked me up. But I still thought that the match outside of that little, 1 minute or whatever was really, really good. Obviously, Io hit a bunch of high-flying spots, fucking moonsaults off the ring apron and all kind of shit. So the match was really good. But there was another non-finish because that's when Bailey and Dakota kept interfering. Then Asuka and fucking Alexa Bliss, who obviously got their match messed up earlier by the Control. They were pissed, so they came out. I was like, no, don't mess up the match. Don't mess up the match. But then, everybody just, start going at it, and that shit was crazy. Kevin Dunn is clearly still in control of the cameras. Let's make that 100% clear. I was nauseous at moments, but it was a really good segment. Like this, I thought that it's probably the highlight of the night for me. The brawl between the ladies was probably the highlight of the night for me. Is just like staring at the women's division we've all been begging for so long. It was just like staring at it. And then just knowing that there's still 2 women on the outskirts who may or may not have re-signed with WWE coming back. And that's not even, mentioning that, the Queen is still out. Becky still has to come back. And there's so much more other talent that they have on the books that they could be using in spots like this. Like I want them to go bring back fucking Tegan Knox. Like bring Tegan Knox back, man. Why is she? Where the fuck is Miss Gargano? I'm sorry. Like how is she not? Like obviously her husband is gonna come back. He's Triple H. He's like one of the top Triple H guys. And look what they're doing with Ciampa right now. We'll get into that in a second, but it's just so many people that could be on the main roster killing it. And if this show is going to be focused on wrestling, it makes no sense not to have these guys on it. So I'm excited about it. But also right before that match, right before that brawl match, whatever you want to call it, Edge came out and cut a promo. His promo was good. He came out as the Rated R Superstar, did the fireworks, and basically just said, like, I like when people, like Becky he cut the same promo as Becky. I guess it just dawned on me. He's like, yeah, I appreciate you guys cheering me. I've been kind of a dick. So just going to acknowledge that. Kind of been an asshole. So can we be friends again? Cool. Cool. So we're friends with Edge again. We can cheer him again, which is cool. We want to cheer Edge. You know what I mean? Is what we do. Is music. Everything lends us to cheering Edge. So just basically like I'm gonna destroy the Judgment Day. He put them all over. Like, yeah, they got one over on me. You know what I mean? But, he also said that he's gonna destroy what he built. So looking forward to seeing seeing him destroy the Judgment Day and get them up out of there. Because I don't even think Finn Balor likes that shit. I don't think, maybe Damian Priest does because he ain't really had nothing going on anyway. But I think Rhea Ripley needs to be in the women's division. Like, you see what's going on, she needs to be a part of that. You know what I mean? She should be facing Bianca for the title. It's like she should be the number one contender right now. I mean, I know she's fought for it already, but still, what I'm saying is, like, she should be in the mix. She's one of the most imposing figures. Where the fuck is Raquel Gonzalez? Oh, she's on the other show. But it's just people there, man, that they could be using. So, all good segments. The show was just running smooth. There was really nothing bad or terrible about the show at this point, or on the show, period. I'm not about to have any cliffhangers. The show was really good as far overall, so there wasn't really anything that I didn't enjoy. What else happened after that? Oh, after that, that's when we had the number one contenders match between Ciampa and AJ Styles, and this match was fire. Like, it's Ciampa and AJ Styles. Like, it's a match that I don't know if I thought we would have got at any point. Like, I don't know if I believed any of this would be happening. You know what I mean? A couple months ago, before all the shenanigans start happening. But now that it's a possibility, it's just like, it just feels good, man. Like, it feels good to talk about Monday Night Raw. It feels good to enjoy doing this specific show, the Blunt Ratings, which I love so much, the concept of the show, but reviewing Monday Night Raws, especially in this format, talking about the show straight through, was literally impossible. Impossible. 3 hours is impossible. But now everything is good. The stories are intriguing. It's long-term booking. I'm interested in what's gonna happen next. So it's why I started the channel in the first place. And man, WWE is really good at sucking the life out of you sometimes. Well, they were with Vince in control when it came to that stuff. Even stopped watching NXT. NXT used to be my favorite show at one point. And just like 2.0, I may have seen like 2 episodes of that shit straight through. Like, I don't watch that colorful bullshit. It's just like, hey, that Braun Breaker guy looks cool. I'll see him when he gets on Raw SmackDown. Hey, Carmelo Hayes, I like that guy. I'll see him when he gets on Raw or SmackDown. Outside, it's like, man, but hopefully that show will get a good makeover, and we'll get back to the classic black and gold soon. But anyways, Ciampa and AJ Styles was fire, man. These two beat the hell out of each other for a chance at the title. But this was when Booker T was on commentary, actually, for the match, and being as annoying as usual, putting himself over as usual. He's just like a really annoying character. I mixed up my finishes too, because this is when the Miz got involved and held AJ Styles' legs, so Ciampa couldn't get back in the ring. Then when he ran back in the ring, that's when Ciampa kneed him in the face and got the 1, 2, 3 after the fairy tale ending. I don't know how I mixed it up. I wrote the same thing down twice. Wrestling on Wii. what happens when you're trying to take down notes real fast while rewatching the show. That's why I got to make sure I'm taking notes during the show so I don't have to rewatch the shit. It's hard when you got a kid, man. My son's about to wake up any minute anyway, so let's get this done. But yeah, that it was a phenomenal match by these two. I love the finish of this match. Obviously, love the fact that Ciampa got the win, and now he's #1 contender for Bobby Lashley's United States Championship, and that match is happening next Monday. So it better be the fucking main event. Okay, I mean, what the hell? You know what I mean? Roman ain't gonna be on the show with the belts, so it should be the main event. Make the United States title important. I'm not saying put it on Ciampa. You shouldn't put it on Ciampa. That'd be a terrible idea. I'm sorry. Not a terrible idea like he couldn't carry it. A terrible idea like he shouldn't beat Bobby Lashley. Like, in no universe. Like, unless he cheats somehow and some shenanigans, Johnny Gargano comes back and helps him beat Bobby Lashley. Ooh. But I don't think they're going to do that just yet. Maybe they do, and then Johnny's like, all right, I get the first chance at that title, and then they get the feud over that joint. I don't know. I'm just fantasy booking, but he shouldn't beat Bobby Lashley, I don't think. So hopefully it's the main event, and we'll get that match next week. So I'm looking forward to that. So show fire up to this point. We saw the Usos earlier come in and run into the Control as they were coming through the door, and Control was leaving after beating up everybody. And yeah, they were kind of flirting with each other. It was kind of weird. I was like, "Where's Naomi? Where's Naomi? And where's your married? Where's your wife?" Why are you smiling at her like that? Stop that. No, it's making you on national TV, boy. What is you doing? So yeah, so the main event was between the Usos, the unified everything champions. So the unified tag team champions of the world, the Usos, from the Anawane family, versus the Mysterios. This weed is really good. Versus the Mysterios. So this match was fire, man, as all the other matches on the show were tonight. This match was fire. These guys were at it. It was crazy. The Usos, they gave Dom a lot of spots. I think they heard the murmurings maybe from SummerSlam. Like, this guy's kind of boring. I think he's being exposed a little bit because it was just, I don't know. SummerSlam didn't do it for me with Dom. He didn't really, I don't know. It just wasn't hidden. But he definitely stepped it up on Monday. They gave him some good spots. It looked like they hit the double 619 and then the splash on Jimmy or Jay. I can't remember which one. And then, they it looked like he was about to get the 3 guys. He was about to let Dom get the win. But obviously that wasn't going to happen. I didn't really believe they was going to let him get the win. But, it's a really good match. At the finish, again, another good finish to this match because it looked like, Ray and Dom really had a chance to win, but somehow, some way, they were able to get Ray up out of there. He was out for a minute, and then Dom looked like he, like I said, might have had an opportunity to get the win, but it was a sneak tag from Jimmy to Jay or Jay to Jimmy, whichever way it went. And, they set up for the 1D and got the 1, 2, 3. So I love the finish to that one as well. Then right after that, that's when, Judgment Day came out and beat up the Mysterios. And then that's when Edge came out and ran everybody off and hit a bunch of people with spears, including Dominic Mysterio on accident. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know what's going to happen with anything, but I liked everything. You know what I mean? I liked everything except for one thing. And that is what we'll talk about now that it's time for the blunt ratings. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave matches for Monday Night Raw. Promos and backstage segments first. I gave the promos and backstage segments 4 blunts. Yeah, all the promos seemed a lot more comfortable. Everybody on the mic seemed to, kill it. I mean, obviously, The Miz is good at talking. Bianca Belair's promo was better. Seth Rollins' promo was phenomenal, as it always is. Everybody did their thing on the microphone. It felt good. Everybody just seemed like they were happy to be at work, which is just a crazy concept, right? Like, I mean, shit. Enjoying the thing you do, you know what I mean, every day. Like, it's just crazy. But that's what it felt like. And, it made the show really enjoyable to watch. Matches, I gave matches, as you saw a minute ago, I gave matches 4 blunts as well. I thought there was a couple 4.5 blunt. I thought the first triple threat match was 4.25, 4.5 blunts by itself. That match carried the rest of the night. There was a bunch of non-finishes because no one could lose the matches with the ladies. You know what I mean? You don't want to really have it because they're all primed to. Every one of those women are championship title contenders. Like, I said championship title. It's the same thing. But every one of them are title contenders. So it's just like you don't want any of them to lose. They probably could have figured out some way, but it's just like we'll do some wonky finishes, and I didn't mind any of them honestly because it's just like Control just felt like chaos. It just felt like NWO. It felt like the female NWO just coming running roughshod over everything. They see somebody having a match, they don't like, fuck it, we going to ruin it. Like, they just doing whatever. And I like that. Like, I don't need to fucking see a finish if there's just chaos. They're building towards a match that will actually matter. Like, the Monday Night Raw matches the finish don't always matter if there's no story being told behind the finish. So, if it's an official finish. So, that was just my opinion on it, but I gave the matches 4 blunts. The main event was probably my least favorite match. I think I was just soured by the fact that it was the main event, and I felt like the United States Championship should have been the main event. But speaking of the United States Championship, we'll talk about storytelling, which I gave 4.75. This is where you get a thank you, Triple H. Thank you, Triple H. Thank you. That don't work. Thank you, Hunter. There we go. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Hunter. That's where you get that chant at because this is the most organized episode of Monday Night Raw I've ever seen. Where was the 24/7 championship? Where was Ezekiel or Elias or Elrod? Who fucking cares? Where was the little circus guy who does the flips? Well, I guess that's part of the 24/7 title. Where was any of this bull? Where was Natalia just doing nothing, just being there? You know what I mean? With her boobs in the camera, like, hey, look at these. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, we got pro wrestling. We got storytelling. We got real shit. You know what I mean? Shit just felt official. Like everything was centered around the U.S. title for the whole night. They made that belt feel important. They ran, WWE is good at video packages. It's kind of their thing. So those were all good. Just everything was fire as far as the storytelling. Ciampa having to battle his way to a United States championship opportunity, not even knowing whether he's going to be babyface or heel because he didn't cheat. Miz cheated for him, but he didn't technically cheat. He battled his way to get the wins. So it was just like everything is just the women's division. Ladies, man. First thing I thought was bring back Evolution. Bring it back. I need the all women's pay-per-view back right here. Just put it, let me tie it up, inject it right there. I need the all women's pay-per-view back because that was one of the best pay-per-views WWE's done in the last decade. And we got it once because Vince don't like all ladies wrestling. So even though never mind. So 4.75 for storytelling. Commentary. Obviously, everybody's a fan of Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on the Blue brand. But these guys on Monday Night Raw did a great job as well. Corey Graves is creme de la creme. He was everybody was on his dick like they were on Pat McAfee's dick before McAfee got there. So Corey Graves, still got to give him props. He's excellent at his job. Jimmy Smith is there. He's not Adnan Virk. He's decent at his job as well. His voice is but as far as him doing his job, I'm not mad at it. And I think Byron can get old after a while because it's just like he's a punching bag, even though he's like comic relief, But I feel like if they're gonna go more towards the serious style of wrestling and storytelling and not have all the goofy 24/7 title stuff where Byron can be a spaz and a weirdo if they're not gonna have all that stuff, he might not fit on that commentary team. I'm gonna just go ahead and put that out there. But I did give commentary 3.75 blunts because I thought that overall the guys did a great job carrying the show, not carrying the show, but commentating the show. And this is where things fall off a cliff for me, ladies and gentlemen. This is what kept Monday Night Raw, the first Triple H ran Monday Night Raw, from being a gold blunt. Where were they at? Houston. I see what y'all did to James Harden. I see what y'all doing down there in the streets. I'm gonna need y'all to get y'all shit together. Because that was piss poor. That was a piss poor effort by the crowd. I think I might have gave them too many blunts. I just didn't want to ruin the entire score for the show because the show was amazing. The crowd absolutely sucked. I gave them 2.5 blunts. That was being very nice. There were so many moments during the show where I thought like I was popping in my crib. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, yo, this. And then they pan to the crowd and everybody just. I'm like, yo, y'all not enjoying this shit? Am I tripping? Like, am I tripping right now? Like, it'd be like two people. They were trying to find specific people who were like into it, and it was tough for them because But they got these two dudes on camera one time, just two grown babies. They look like two. yeah. But I felt them because those dudes were like, it was just like, we're getting good wrestling again, and so it was just like. But the crowd was just, oh man, it was bad, man. They look bored. I know they're used to those crowds that don't watch these podcasts, and they're older guys or people with regular jobs, and they're taking their kids to the shows because their kids might watch wrestling because the kids like the goofy, it's be women in there who don't even watch wrestling, but they're taking their kids to the show, different things like that. So these people, they might see the fluff. Or stuff like that, or they enjoy the fluff, and so maybe they were just like, so we're not gonna get the goofy segment where guys run out and everybody's pinning each other and there's a title exchange 7 times in 3 minutes. No, we're not. We're not getting it. Get that shit fuck off my wrestling TV. It's stupid. I hate it. Don't want to see it. It had some funny moments, some ha 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 ha, but it was about 5%. And I'm good on y'all featuring something every week that's good 5% of the time. Don't need it. You know what I mean? So the overall score for the show was a 3.8. That's a silver blunt, not a gold blunt, but it was still an excellent Monday Night Raw. Like I said, the matches, everything were fire. Storytelling, we got awesome man in charge in Hunter and Paul Levesque. Why am I calling him Hunter? And Paul Levesque, Triple H. And yeah, man, like I hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as I did. I thought that it was a phenomenal episode of Monday Night Raw, and I am really, really, really looking forward to what they do next. So before we get out of here, let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. Wow Nation. Yeah, the United States Championship matters. It absolutely does. It matters again. It feels good, don't it? And yes, RIP to the 24/7 championship. As I just said, that shit is done. So U.S. title hasn't looked this good in a while. That is also a fact. That is also a fact. Ciampa gonna turn on the Miz. You think Ciampa gonna do the heel turn? I was thinking that it would be Ciampa because it's like sometimes the look on his face, especially when Miz was like bigging him up. Miz was doing that hype promo, which was a pretty good promo because it felt like he was setting up for Ciampa to turn heel on him. So you could be right. You could be right. I mean, he better. He never left, and they already changed his name back. They gave him his old entrance with his old logo, which was fire. They already started the transition. You know what I mean? His boy is a maximum male model now, so Yeah, I see Dominic coming back. Like Keith Lee would still be there. If just imagine like all the things that could imagine Swerve on the main roster in WWE right now. Never mind. They were on the main. Oh my God, where's Hit Row? Oh my God. All the casualties of that old bastard. All the casualties. Oh my God. I mean, Swerve's doing just fine for himself, obviously, holding the tag team championships over in AEW. But damn, bro, like Hit Row was a fire fucking whole situation, and they just imploded it immediately for nothing. For nothing. It's just crazy, man. I ain't even seen what was the big dude's name. I ain't even heard none from him. Since he got left moved from the company, so who knows, man? It's crazy. The cruiserweight championship will return soon. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Where's it been? Where's the two? Because 205 Live isn't there. That's why. That's why. Okay, yeah, but yeah, they need to bring that back because there's a lot of smaller wrestlers that you could keep from having to, and you could just bring in more luchador. They might need WWE might, but see now people might start. I don't know, man. You got 5 hours. They just gonna have to. They can't run less ad breaks. They got to pay people. They can run less video packages and stuff like they don't have to remind us of stuff that happened on the show, something that happened an hour ago every 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So they can make room for more stuff, for more, smaller wrestlers having matches for the Cruiserweight Championship because obviously there's a weight limit. Be 205 Live on Monday Night Raw, even though they already tried it. It's like you could try something, but if the people who are putting it together don't want it to happen anyway, it's not going to succeed. I think with Triple H in charge, 205 Live would have succeeded, would have been better. But definitely having the cruiserweights on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown would be a better thing, even if they put them on NXT. But yeah, the cruiserweight championship should definitely come back. I agree. Sky and Kai and Sky. Is that Kai and Ty? Are we chopping peepees? Are we doing that? Oh man, Kai and Ty is just so close. Why'd they do that? They didn't need to do that. It's just too close. And you put them in a team, and it's just Kai and Ty. No, Kai and Sky. It's like, see, it's just too easy to make. Too easy to make the fucking the mistake, and then the first thing you think of is choppy pee pee, and I don't want to think about Val Venus penis getting chopped off on TV. So I don't want to think about that. So, it is what it is. Gruss said the Street Profits was split in the draft. That would be a cool way to split them up to where they don't have to turn on each other and both of them could stay baby faces. Not mad at that, actually. Johnny Wrestling will return next week in Cleveland. Is he from Cleveland or something? I don't think he's from Cleveland. AEW has a big problem coming. I wonder why you think that, Gruss. I agree. I just wonder why you think that. But I agree 100%. I think AEW, if this would have happened months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, AEW wouldn't have a lot of the wrestlers that they have. Yeah. So, yeah. Obviously, Vince McMahon was holding this company back. It's going to take a minute for those fans that show up to the shows right now, the ones that show up to the shows, right, that are used to coming to the shows, those fans, the global audience, to get used to some of the stuff that Triple H is doing. But they'll get used to it because it's good. You like storytelling, they're still going to do the sports entertainment, silly shit. They'll still mix that in there every now and then. They did on NXT, but it will just be few and far in between, and it won't dominate the show or take away from everything else because everything else will be so good and so cohesive. So, yeah, promos and backstage segments were good last night. They were definitely. Triple Threat with fire. And they had stakes behind them. Yep, exactly. It's not just matches happening for nothing, just not rematches from last week, not championship contenders matches, whatever the hell that is. But yeah, everything made sense last night, man. Everything made sense. But that's it, man. I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna go take my son outside to the park and play some games or something. But I appreciate you guys always being here. KGM Grush, you already know what it is, man. Wild Nation. Oh, he is from Cleveland. Oh, that makes perfect sense then. Well, yeah, that makes perfect sense to bring him back next week. Get that hometown pop. I ain't mad at that. So yeah, man, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all that stuff we need you to do on YouTube. We back with the blunt ratings, baby. So we might do a podcast episode later or maybe tomorrow. It just depends. But we'll definitely be doing the Dynamite. I'll be doing the Dynamite blunt ratings on Thursday. So I'll see you guys on Thursday, man. I'll see you guys before Thursday. But, yeah, I'll definitely be back for the Dynamite blunt ratings on Thursday. But, yeah, once again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Mr. HD, the Raw Blunt Ratings, man. I'm out of here. Peace.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to know when we go live next. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling on We, and thanks for watching.